Hi there, it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the UK. And I've got some really cute projects to show you today. Well, they're kind of the same project, just in different ways. So these are the two that I've already put together, and I've got another one I'm going to do with you now. They are using the, Gilded Autumn. Is it Gilded Autumn? I'm sure it is Gilded Autumn. No, yes, Gilded Autumn Specialty Designer Series paper. This is this gorgeous mint macaron, crumb cake, Cajun craze and early espresso on very vanilla paper. There are punches that go with it, which punch out the oak leaf, the maple leaf or sycamore, and the acorn, and the cutest stamp set. But I'm not using the stamp set today, or the punches. What I am using is the new and exclusive quite curvy stamp set and matching curvy dies. These are currently on pre-order for demonstrators, and they're gorgeous. And we can also get our hands on the matching but limited release Curvy Christmas and the Classic Christmas Designer Series papers. They are gorgeous. These are amazing because they are they're non-seasonal as far as I'm concerned. The nearest we've got to a seasonal pattern is that one, which are the trees. Everything else is non-seasonal. I mean, there's stars, but stars aren't necessarily just for Christmas. So a diagonal stripe, we've got a grid, we've got a leaf pattern, there's dots, there's more leaf. So really nice patterns, and you get them in shaded spruce, cherry cobbler and Sahara sand. We don't see Sahara sand that much, but it's a really nice soft colour. It's almost like a pink brown. So all of this we are able to order already. Of course, if you want it now, you can. I'm going to let you have it now because you can put it in your starter kit. So if you want it now, do let me know, and I can let you know how to get that inside your starter kit. This is, I've recently done some projects which I'm not allowed to show you using the Christmas ones, but they're for the Stampin' Glam Squad, who I work with, and if you put a £45 order or more in using the host code, then you get the monthly tutorial, which reminds me I must send my September one out, and we're doing embossing for the October one, which will be available in November, and I'm using some embossing from this. This is the one I did for the Spot Challenge on Tuesday. I have to think about when it was. And this uses this lovely swag of leaves, and I've used the Stamparatus and the hinge technique, where you just move the hinge up, and then some Artistry Blooms sequins, which works really nicely with the colours I've chosen. Anyway, I'm using this stamp set and the matching dies today. Not an awful lot of them, to be honest. So all I'm using is this die, which is this curved die with dots, and it cuts on the edge here. There is this one which also cuts on the edge but does a pattern, and then this cuts into paper, and it's embossing and cutting, so the leaves cut out and the veining and the stalks emboss. Then we've got a die for this, a die for this, a die for each of the three birds, and also for this little leaf here. Plus we've got this extra leaf which I have used on one of my projects. So the only stamps that I need are the hello and one of the birds, which is that one. So those are the only stamps I'm going to need. And I'm going to make a slightly different version of this card. I've done some prep because otherwise it literally would be a question of waiting to watch things dry. So let me start by stamping and colouring the robin, and I'm using a slightly different colourway this time, but I will show you that in a moment. Sorry, I went completely, my brain went there for a moment. I don't want the early espresso for this bit. I want the memento. I'm using very vanilla card because the paper is on a very vanilla base. So I'm just inking up my stamp and popping him down, and he's so cute. He could be any bird, but I think he looks like a robin, which ties in really nicely. So it's the quite curvy that has the birds in, but because it looks like a robin, it actually works with the Christmas, the Curvy Christmas set as well. So clean that off because I don't need that anymore. I will need the hello in a moment. Right, okay, so I've got a selection of stamping blends. For these two, I used the Poppy Parade and Pumpkin Pie Dark with, for this one, I used Soft Suede, light and dark, and for this one, I used Crumb Cake, light and dark. The colours of the paper are Crumb Cake, Cajun Craze, Early Espresso and Mint Macaron. So I wanted to do something that was closer. So that's, as I say, Poppy Parade, Pumpkin Pie and Crumb Cake. This time I'm going to use the Cajun Craze and Crumb Cake, and I might need a little bit of pumpkin pie just to get the red a bit redder. I'm just trying to have a look and see what I used. No, I didn't. I just used Cajun Craze. Okay, so it's just Cajun Craze. So I'm going to start by doing the red breast. I'm going to leave those there so that you can just about see them. And I'm going to remember to zoom in, because every now and again I remember. There we go. Right, so you won't actually be able to see the ones that I've already done. But this is the dark Cajun Craze, and it is quite dark, so you don't want much. And then I've got the light Cajun Craze. And they are quite a different colour on the vanilla. I thought I had some Whisper White. Let me... I do! I have a scrap of Whisper White, so let me... Are we in? Yes, we are. So, these are the colours on Whisper White. So they are quite a bit different on the vanilla. So that is worth bearing in mind, but I'm going with it. So next I've got the light Crumb Cake. Let me just make sure I'm in camera. I am going over the edge of the Cajun Craze. And then I'm also just making sure I'm still in camera, and I am. I'm also going to add a little bit of the Crumb Cake on his back. And then I'm coming in with the dark Crumb Cake. And just blending that there. And I'm also going to come in underneath his wing, just so that we've got a bit of shadow, and just underneath the back of his body. And then I'm going to come back in with my light and just blend that out. Like that. So that is our little chap. Now, I obviously need to die cut it, but I'm not going to die cut this one, purely because for one of the next steps that I need to do, which I'm going to do last, I need this to be absolutely dry. And alcohol is very quick to dry, but it's not instant. So let me zoom out again. Ooh, no, that's going in. Wrong way. Okay, so let me put the card together, and then I will show you what I mean by I need it to be very dry. So I have got here a piece of the mint macaron, which is actually the bottom half of that piece. So I layered together the mint macaron and the crumb cake pattern together, and I'll have the dimensions on my website, which is linked below. Do remember to subscribe, and also remember to give me a thumbs up if you enjoy the video. So I layered the two together and just ran them through the cut and emboss machine as one. They're only paper, so it's easy to do. So hence I've got the top of one and the bottom of the other and the other way around. So I've got an early espresso mat, and I need to pop these on so that they are square. Now you would think that was really easy because they do make a rectangle, but actually it's surprisingly difficult. Either that or it's just me. It's probably just me. This is amazing for Halloween or autumn projects. Obviously if you're in the US, or I believe recently it was the Canadian Thanksgiving. I could be wrong, but if it was, happy Thanksgiving. But yeah, so very, very good for Thanksgiving. So that was Stamp and Seal, which is very sticky, which is good. I'm just going to pop that there lightly while I line that up and just make sure that everything is at least square. Now you see it's actually not. I need to bring this, oops, I need to bring that down a bit. In fact, I need to move it slightly further that way, and for it to be square still. So let's line it up again, and it is. And at that point I'll press this down. This Stamp and Seal is a little bit forgiving, so it will stick to the surface on which you put it on. Stick to this. Is that English? So it will be more adhered to the card there and the paper here. So if you need to move things around, it is worth bearing in mind that it will have adhered itself more to one of the surfaces than the other, but it's useful to know so that you know which bit you're pulling away. So let's line that up and drop it down, and it is square, so I can press. If you ever need to bring anything up, twisting is better than pulling. Just trust me on that one. Trust me, I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator. I've got one of these little leaves, and I'm going to hold it with my self-closing tweezers, which are jolly useful. And I'm just going to pop a little dot of Tombow on each of the leaves. You don't have to put it on each of them, I just kind of like to. And then a little bit at the end, because that could get caught otherwise. And that is going to go here, like that. And while that's doing its thing, I'm going to pop a block on it to hold it in place. Right, I need a mini dimensional for the back of my robin, and as I say, it's the same as I coloured just now, but dry. So he is going to have a mini dimensional, and I also need to stamp the hello. Now, stamping the hello on the crumb cake is perfectly fine because it is a completely matte surface. You do not want to stamp it on the mint macaron and the gold because the ink probably won't take terribly well to the gold. Just saying. So I'm going to find a spot where I can pop this. My little birdie is going to go there again. Whoops. So I like to have things either together or far apart. So I'm going to go up here. Apart from anything else, we like to read, so I've got a scarf on today because it's quite chilly, so if you're seeing scarf, that's why. We like to read from top left to bottom right. It's how we read. So having something at the top left is better than having it at the top right. If it's at the top right, your eye isn't going to like it very much. So just worth bearing that in mind. And what we do is we tend to scan like this. So we're going to be coming in a diagonal. So having our little chappy there is quite a nice place to have him. So I'm then going to pop him down onto our branch. Now I want it to be, whoops, I want it to be as if he is on the branch. And then all I need to do is add some adhesive to the back, and then I'm going to put my finishing touch on. And I am going to leave it until the card is finished, because otherwise you will be literally watching things dry. And that's going to be quite a boring video. Do remember, I love to see your comments. I always reply. I tend to reply once every day or two, but I will always reply. So if you've got any questions or comments, you can leave those below in the description bar. Or below the description bar, I should be saying. So please, please do that. And as I say, thumbs up is always appreciated, as is subscribe. So this is the Shimmer Crystal Effects from the... Ooh, is this in the annual? I think it might be in the annual, otherwise it's a returning favourite in the mini. I will check in a moment. And this is a dimensional glue, really. But it's got a very small amount of glitter in it, which is why it is called Shimmer Crystal Effects. So I tend to go around the outside and then fill in. Now you can get this effect with your fine tip glue, but it won't be as dimensional. It will get the gloss, and obviously it won't be shimmery because it hasn't got the glitter. I mean, this has got the smallest amount of glitter. So it's not like it's glitter, glitter, glitter. It's just the odd little highlight. So let me show you this as it is. And hopefully you can see that that is nice and shiny, but it needs to dry and it's got a little bit of glitter in. I'll try and get a better picture on my camera when I take the photos. And then this is the one with the Poppy Parade and the soft suede, which is dry, and you can see it's still nice and shiny, and it's got the little bit of glitter in, but it's now dry. As is, she says, hopefully. This one I did slightly more recently, bit of fluff, but this is the Poppy Parade, Pumpkin Pie and Crumb Cake version. And as you see, again, it's lovely and shiny, with a little tiny amount of glitter. It's almost, you almost can't see the glitter. It's so tiny. I'm just going to see if I can see whether it's in the annual or the... I don't know what it will be under. That's the weird thing. Maybe tools? No. I honestly don't know. It won't be under adhesives. I think it might possibly be in the mini. But it is amazing stuff. Let me see. Let me see. Because you'd like to think it'll be in the index. And while I'm doing this, you can be deciding which is the one you prefer. Because I would love to know whether you like the one we did just now, the one with the other one with the gold, or the really simple one with the without the gold. See, it's not telling me in this one either. Isn't that annoying? So I can't answer that question. When I find the answer, I will put it on my blog. But in the meantime, it exists, and it is. I will list it over on my website, so you can see where you can order it. Do remember that if you're in the UK and you use the host code and your order is at least £45, you will get a thank you gift, a product gift from me for using the host code. And also you will get the class tutorial, which has got an amazing bunch of tutorials in it, and they're all themed. So for October, you'll get it in November, and it will be embossing. So that might be heat embossing, it might be embossing with an embossing folder, but embossing. And if your order is 60, I think it's £60 or more, can't remember, you will also get the Mega Autumn Bundle, which I have got over on my website. Now, all of those bundles, all of those tutorials are available to buy. If you would like to just buy the tutorials, you can do that on my website. Also, don't forget that I have got my class kit to go, coming out any day now. The deadline for ordering is the 20th, she says. No, it's not. It's this Sunday, which may or may not be the 20th. It's this Sunday. This is one of the cards from the class. It's all using the Trimming the Tree suite. You don't need the stamps, you don't need the dies, but obviously you can get those. And if you order the stamps and or the dies, you get a discount off the class. So please do think about that. All of the details are over on my website. I've already had quite a number of orders, which is brilliant. The basic class kit is £30, and then there's £3 packaging on top of that to pay for postage, and you get an enormous amount of stuff in there. All the die cuts, all the punching, all the embossing, everything cut other than the designer series paper, which I leave you to cut, but everything cut ready to go to make 2 each of 8 cards. I have to say, I am thrilled with how the kit has come together. Anyway, thank you very much indeed for watching. Do let me know which of these you prefer, and as I say, if you've enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!